He's a former pro athlete turned entrepreneur who runs an esports gaming center in Cary. Please welcome to the stage, Caleb Smith.
Hello, everyone. My name is Caleb Smith, and like you said, I run a video gaming facility out in Cary. And today I'm going to be speaking about esports, the future of education. So now, when I said esports, there are some of you in this room who had no idea what I was talking about or may not have heard of esports. It stands for electronic sports, which is essentially competitive video gaming. And there are stadiums being filled up with 10 to 20,000 fans watching esports events. There are also players making 6 and 7 figures playing games such as Fortnite, Call of Duty, and others. And recently, there's been a lot of buzz in North Carolina regarding esports, especially here in the Triangle. Back in November, there was a bill passed that offered an incentive for publishers to bring their esports events to the area. In December, at the Raleigh Convention Center, there was an esports event hosted with 5,000 people in attendance. And just recently, NC State received $16 million for the building of an esports facility. And now, I spoke quite a bit about esports on the entertainment aspect, but there's also an educational aspect to esports. For instance, there are things that esports can teach, such as communication skills and teamwork, because most of these games are team-based and have 3 to 5 players on it. It's not, the solo person that you think just playing all night, things like that. And there's also an educational component from kids are very curious. So oftentimes, when they're at my gaming center, they'll say to us, they're like, well, how do you not get hacked? And then that gives us the perfect opportunity to talk about cybersecurity and what a firewall is. Or they'll look inside the PC and be like, well, what's that part? That's a graphics card. What's that part? That's a CPU. And then they're intrigued and want to learn more and more about the different components that go into actually being able to do esports. And now, there's been, for some reason, a stigma around gaming that it's antisocial and it's toxic, which part of that is slightly true, but it doesn't have to be. What we do is we work to combat that. So, for instance, more relaxation, less anxiety, and STEM careers, which is what I just talked about previously. And then also within the esports as well, then we're able to talk about getting rid of the toxic behavior, talking about integrity, since cheating is a large issue in video gaming, and teamwork, sportsmanship. So what we do is we're taking all the negative things that people dislike about video gaming and making it positive. And I talked a lot about kids and how we work with them and things like that, but I've also worked with high school and college students as well. Mentioning that esports event that happened back at the Raleigh Convention Center in December, Esports Engine, which had put on the event, reached out to me, and they were actually looking for staff members to work the event, and they were paying them $15 an hour. And that's an excellent way for people to add to their resume. And then many colleges here locally in the Triangle are adding esports and are reaching out, asking about internships and job opportunities. And while there's so few of them, what we're working to do is create this workforce to produce more and more people that will be taking on these jobs, whether it be in esports and also in STEM and tech careers. And now, I hope I changed some of y'all's viewpoint on gaming and esports, and that you realize it's not just, the person sitting in the basement, eating potato chips, playing games, 12 hours a day, not doing anything with their life. It's more than that. This is about teaching valuable life skills. It's about developing the future workforce. It's about keeping kids off the streets. Thank you.
All right, here's your chance. Here's your chance to get questions answered about the world of esports with Caleb Smith. Raise your hand if you got a question. I'll bring the mic out to you. You realize this isn't TV and I can see all of you, right? All right, we got a question right here down the aisle. First question of the night about the esports gaming industry.
The event that you hosted back in December, was it the Raw Convention Center? Was it for Halo Infinite?
Well, we didn't host that, but yeah, like we helped out with it and stuff. Yeah, that was a Halo Infinite event.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's right.
All right. Lots of games out there in the esports industry. Oh, we've got some swag. Awesome. Next question.
Enjoyed your presentation. I teach, so when you say this is for education also, what made you start this thing anyway? And what were your original goals for it?
Well, I really enjoyed playing video games growing up, and I like the whole competitive aspect of esports. And what I wanted to do, from having been a professional athlete and knowing the whole process that it takes to get to that level, I wanted to recreate that within esports. And then I learned that there was a larger market for just the casual gamers. And then I learned that there was even a larger market for the whole STEM education aspect. So we do still focus on the esports side and players that want to play collegiate professionally, but since there's such a large market of people who interest, especially the parents, they want their kids learning something, and if they can learn something doing something that they enjoy, that's the best of both worlds.
All right, other questions? We got a couple over here to your right. Just a big line of folks here. All right, first question.
Hi, I enjoyed your talk, so thank you for that. And on your talk, you talked a little bit about high school and college students, how that prepares them for the workforce, but I was wondering if you worked with elementary and middle school age students, and if they are in your trackout camps or playing Roblox and Minecraft at your facility.
Yes, so about 80% of what we do is with elementary and middle schoolers, and we haven't tapped a whole lot into the high school and college market yet. But what we do, so we have camps and workshops both. So workshops are after school that happen about 90 minutes. They come in with an instructor so they can do things. Currently, we have Minecraft. In the future, we're planning on adding AI, cybersecurity. And then the camps, we've been doing those since last year in the summer, and same thing with that. That's just a full week where we have different lessons and really cater to the people that come through. Some are very high level advanced and know how to code and script, and the others are just beginners.
All right, we're going right behind for our next question.
All right, my name is Neil. I'm a big fan of esports. Even looking back at 2012, the scene has completely exploded. You can look at it. You can watch your favorite professionals play on ESPN. And a lot of that success goes to Twitch and YouTube. My question is, thinking forward maybe 10, 20 years, where do you see esports going? What do you think the future will bring?
With esports, it's definitely going to keep growing and getting bigger. And when we look over at Asia and Europe and how much larger they are, North America has a lot catching up to do, which is part of why it will get bigger. And then I really do think that VR and the metaverse will have a lot to come into within esports, and only the future knows.
All right, any other questions? We have one from social media. If not, the question from social media is, these esports teams, how do they compete against each other? How do they form? And how does a team operate?
So at the grassroots level, an esports team forms just by buddies getting together and be like, yeah, let's play, and there's this online tournament, or there may be an in-person tournament, there's a LAN center nearby, and then as it goes up, so for college, it's people that go to college, they may get recruited or just after college, they'd be like, I want to play on this esports team. For the professional level, it's really they look at players who have competed, actively competed. So the people I know, I mean, they're practicing about 8+ hours a day, and then on top of that, they will play in a competition at least every other weekend, if not every weekend, so that they can continue to get better, build up their resume. and then hope that someone actually finds them in a semi-professional, professional org.
All right, let's give it up for Caleb Smith.